The Ulster County Housing Smart Communities Initiative is a first-of-its-kind program to help the county collaborate with its communities on policies and programs to allow and encourage more housing. The initiative was designed with input from a committee of citizens who spent time learning about housing and the actions that might help.
One of the big values of the Ulster County Housing Smart program is it provides a template for any local municipality to incorporate affordable housing into their community, but in a way that works for them. If you're in the city of Kingston, what works for you might be very different than what you need in one of the smaller villages or one of the hamlets in other places around the county. And so for the county to utilize a template like this, it gives the county a stronger voice in it, and it helps push the towns to understand that this is everybody's problem and everybody needs to be part of the solution.
We've hit a resonating tone with the communities, as well as the fact is that we're helping them do comprehensive plan work, we're helping them to update their zoning statute, and we're helping them to make realistic choices about the things that they can do in their community to essentially make sure that there's a housing choice for a diverse group of incomes.
The Housing Smart Initiative is a certification program through which communities in Ulster County can earn bronze, silver, gold, or platinum certification based on actions they take related to housing. The Housing Smart Initiative focuses on 15 actions that communities can choose, each earning them points toward the next level of certification. Communities that earn bronze certification then receive help from the county in the form of technical assistance to pursue one of the 15 actions that will improve their housing policies.
Housing, particularly affordable housing, is misunderstood in terms of what it means to a community and who it helps. So what we want to try to do is go back out there and talk to the community, not necessarily on the nuts and bolts of zoning, but talk to the community about the nuts and bolts of affordable housing, what it means for the residents, what it means for the community context, and the idea that a diverse community is essentially a successful community.
When I reviewed the report that came out of our committee, and it came out in 2020, it said that a single parent with one child could only afford a house up to $116,000. Now we're 4 years later, that housing market does not exist in Ellenville anymore. You cannot purchase a house for $116,000. So affordable housing is so key for us to keep our staff at the hospital. Otherwise, they will move to another community and possibly go work at a different hospital. We want to keep them taking care of our patients.
I really wanted to be on the Housing Smart Initiative Committee with Ulster County because I feel like I work so deeply in the community, especially in Kingston, really hyper-local to Kingston. During the pandemic, we really got to see that crunch financially for folks, and I have a son who had friends since kindergarten, and we were watching them just slowly disappear into the ether. And it was really heartbreaking, and so for me, it was really personal.
What I was hearing from my staff was they're having a hard time staying. Early in the pandemic, we lost a few employees to other locations because they could sell their house at a premium here and find a more affordable place to live in another community. Some of the houses were sold out from under them. They were renters, and the house was sold out from under them, either to be rented to somebody else at a higher rate, or somebody bought the house to move upstate.
Housing, economic development, quality of life, these all go together. Developers aren't going to come to the region to build manufacturing or office or high-tech or even medical because there isn't sufficient housing for the workforce. That's a negative for us. So we have to help transform that. So I think that's going to be one of the benefits of the program, stimulating elected officials and local officials to rethink their zoning laws and their planning regulations to accommodate new housing, be it accessory dwellings or other.
The town of Olive decided to opt into the program because we understood our zoning laws were antiquated. We understood that we had an immediate problem that seemed like it only had long-term solutions. We needed to really move on this. Even moving on it quickly is too slow. So we were looking for every opportunity to be able to look at our current zoning codes and find ways that would be applicable to increasing housing in our town.
Some of our smaller towns and villages in Ulster County might not have the means or the human power to bring some of these initiatives to fruition. And so really being able to pick what works within people's comfort level based off of who they actually have in place is extremely helpful.
I think it's really important for the county to provide assistance to the communities under the Housing Smart program, because most communities don't have that resource on hand. They don't have someone on staff or in the community that really truly understands the needs and what the solutions are. And for the county to be able to provide that, I think is fantastic.
There are those that think that there's an ulterior motive here. The ulterior motive, quite frankly, is affordable housing. You know, there's nothing hidden here with respect to what we're trying to do. We've identified a housing crisis. We're trying our best to give the communities the tools to essentially address that crisis in a manner that is appropriate for their community.